Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Obscurity of Maximum Security with Kara Phillip and, most importantly, Mike Johnson.
Hi.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, let's talk about the commissary.
Okay.
Or as the inmates used to call it, the store. Okay, now, the commissary, in order for an inmate to shop, and they could shop weekly, we might have touched on the grade system. They had to be an A grade.
Okay.
A grade's the best you can be if you're an inmate, okay? If you get disciplinary tickets and stuff, they can reduce you in grade, all right? So you had A grade, that's the best. That's like being in heaven. B grade, it's kind of like purgatory. You can serve your time in B grade. You still have, things that are coming to you, like the movie, commissary, things like that. You can move back up into A grade after you serve your 30 days in B grade or whatever. C grade's like hell. C grade, you ain't got nothing coming. You can't go to the movie. You can't participate in any fun stuff that might come into the prison. You can't shop.
Oh.
And then there's also commissary denial, where it doesn't happen very often, where a guy's in A grade and he gets commissary denial, but it can happen. You won't lose your grade status, but you can't shop for 2 weeks or something.
Oh.
Punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, how did inmates go about shopping? Okay, they didn't just decide, hey, I'm going to the store today like we do. Okay. So what happens is we would take a line over from the cell house, and the guys were really good about filling out their commissary slips ahead of time.
Okay.
With what they want. And then, when I was a guard, I'd bring the line over, and they're usually really happy and in a good mood, when it's time to go to the store. Okay.
I would be too, I am.
So we'd go into the commissary, and I remember some of the guys would bring a deck of cards and play cards while they're waiting for their orders to get filled, and as long as they weren't gambling or anything, I didn't care. They used to like to play spades.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
That's
game.
still popular.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd just be sitting there, and they'd call the guy's name out, and they'd also check to see if they got any money on the books. Now, money was contraband. The money was handled by the trust fund office up in the admin building. Okay. So, the commissary would check and make sure they had money first of all, and then they'd fill the order, and then it would be deducted from their trust fund account.
Where does money come from?
They earn money on their jobs.
Okay.
Family can send them money orders.
Okay.
I think it was $50 increments.
Oh.
I think it was. It's been a long time.
That feels like a lot of money, but
they could. I'm not saying that they got that all the time, but I'll have to look into that. It might not have been 50. I know there was a certain increment, and like if they wanted to send like $100 or something, it had to be in increments. They couldn't just do like $100 one or something like that. But yeah, they made money on their jobs, and people could send them money, and it woid be put on their account. So I remember this one time, the lady that working in the commissary yells out, I'm just going to make up a name, Jones. He thought it was like, my order's ready.
Yeah.
And he stands up and she goes, you got the same 47 cents on the books you had last week. And then all the guys are like, they're all laughing and everything, So anyway, what could they buy at the store? Okay. Dry soups, some canned goods.
Cans?
Yeah, cans of pop. Like I remember they had Canfield's pops. Do you remember Canfield's?
No.
50-50, stuff like that. Little Debbie cakes.
Well, like the ho-hos or like honey buns?
Honey buns.
Honey buns.
And you could be, the big joke with inmates was, I'm going to put a honey bun hit on you. What that meant was, you're not worth very much. It was kind of it was like a joke.
I thought the honey buns were valuable.
Not when it come to putting hits on me.
Apparently.
No, I'm going to put a honey bun hit on you. Yeah, that was one of the things they used to say. Little Debbie cakes. There's candy, chips, and tobacco.
Really?
Yeah. Now, the inmates liked, of course, with real cigarettes. Like they could buy Marlboros, name brand stuff. But the state made cigarettes down in Menard for the inmates.
Oh.
They were called Pyramids and Southern Lights.
Okay.
And they were filterless.
Oh boy.
The inmates called them squares. They called all cigarettes squares.
Aren't all cigarettes squares?
Yeah, right. They called them all squares, but I guess it originated from the Pyramids and the Southern Lights because they were filterless and the packs were square, not rectangular.
Okay, so then there are non-prison, non-filtered cigarettes. So do we think squares is a prison term, or do we think it's...
I'd say it's a prison term.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they called, you'd always hear the guys that'd be going, hey man, give me a square.
Yeah, that people say that.
And it'd be any cigarette.
Yeah.
But the state made these cigarettes and we used to hand them out like candy, they preferred, of course, the name brand stuff, but hey, you got free and you got...
Okay, that was the next question. Free if it's the
we'd hand them
cigarettes.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to keep them in the crank box when I was a guard and I had galleries. I'd keep Pyramids and Southern Lights in the crank box.
For the opening?
Where
I'd
keep them in there, and I also was able to jam a couple rolls of toilet paper in there because guys would ask for toilet paper and cigarettes.
Could they just smoke in their cells?
Oh, back then everybody was smoking.
Wild.
Yeah, it was like just a haze.
Interesting.
And then, of course, in the summer, it's like 100 degrees in there on real hot days.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this a little back then to the paranormal tours real quick. So it's interesting. One time, me and Rob are out, doing our tour, and he kind of felt something in one of the galleries. Honestly, I could picture it in my brain, but I can't even tell you. It was in the West Cell house, though. So the one that's on the yard side, first floor. That one. Okay. So he sent me and somebody else to go walk down because he's like, there's something over there. See if you feel it. Mm-hmm. And Rob may have sometimes smoked inside of the prison, but we didn't admit that. But never on tours. So here we're on a paranormal tour. It's at night. And he sends us over, and I got such a whiff of smoke. And all smoke smells different, different cigarettes. And it didn't smell like Rob's cigarettes, but also it's wet in there. Like whatever. I could just not, And I was annoyed. I go, Rob's smoking over here when he walked over on a tour, and we're just kind of, whatever. And we go, we go back. And I go, Rob, were you smoking on the tour inside? He goes, no. And he wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah. But it was such a giant just whiff of the cigarette smoke. Like it was as if somebody just blew it in my face in this empty gallery. And so, and honestly, I really thought, because I'm thinking, hey, it's 2020, whatever. Of course, no one's smoking inside anywhere. I quit smoking ages ago. Mm-hmm. It can't be that they smoked inside. Like, this can't be a ghost because why would they smoke inside? That's funny. Yeah. They smoked a lot inside. So
it was hazy from the smoke in there especially during lockdowns when everybody's locked up. And at night when just everybody's locked up, they're all smoking.
Even the hazy, there would be times when you'd see that I'm saying, it's hazy. Yeah. And was that, I'm just bringing it back to the paranormal stuff. Right. Was it paranormal, or were we just, seeing... some echoes of the past, too. That's interesting.
And from being in there, the bottom 4 galleries, and then there's a solid floor going across, and then the top 4, and of course you've got the ceiling, the roof, and of course the smoke. So it'd be really hazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Up, the higher, you could just, it just hung there. It just hung there, And like I said, I kept toilet paper, too, and if a guy wanted toilet paper, I'd always check his cell. Because sometimes they hoard it because they used to use it to set a fire in a toilet and cook coffee, which I was going to cover on the. I could talk about that.
I was going to say that's probably a good spot to take a break, and we're going to come back to that because that's a whole story. Okay, so thanks for joining us on this episode of the Obscurity of Maximum Security. I can't wait to learn something next episode with Kara Phillip and most importantly Mike Johnson. Thank you.
Bye.